Today we want to look at Autodesk Forma and Veras for using AI at early stage concept design and analysis. Now, many people already know what Forma is, but just in case this is the first time you're hearing about Forma, it is an early stage feasibility study application developed by Autodesk. It used to be called SpaceMaker. I think it was acquired by Autodesk and then they changed name to Forma. There are plans to change Autodesk Construction Cloud to Forma Data Management in the future. So I think Forma is starting to become one of Autodesk's flagship products. So it's really worth exploring Forma. If you're already paying for a full Autodesk collection, then you should have Forma. And if you Google Forma on the web, you should be able to sign in or access your Forma site design hub. So I'm already logged into my hub and I'm going to just start a project to show you what Forma can do. In this video, I want to go through a very quick workflow of what's possible when you combine the AI capabilities of Forma with AI rendering capabilities of Veras to create a conceptual site study and create an image that communicates the idea for the site study. Forma is easily accessible on the web, so all you have to do is get your credentials and sign in, and you are able to access Forma on the web. Clicking on a newly created project that I made for this video, I'm able to create a board, like a whiteboard for collaboration, or create a site. For this video demonstration, I'll be using site. Now I'm asked to search for the address of the sites that I would like to explore on Forma. A popular location in Toronto is Toronto's Union Station, so I will be putting Union Station to search for the location. I've put my address in the search bar and this is the station that I want, so I'm going to click on that. If you are used to site analysis using tools like SketchUp, then you should be very familiar with this process. All we have to do now is zoom into the area with the constraints that we want to use for our early stage feasibility study, and we can build on that using Forma's AI tools as well as other tools that would be interesting to check out. So I'm zooming in on the area and just confirming the map area. Immediately I will get a prompt that contextual data is being loaded. This is because Forma will also provide site terrain in addition to other constraints that support early stage design analysis. On the left side of Forma, I have my proposals, of which I can create several proposals just to iterate back and forth for different options. And on the right side, I have all of the analysis I can perform, which includes sunlight analysis, daylight potential, embodied carbon, and all the others listed on the screen. For this video though, we really just want to look at Forma's AI site analysis feature, also called site automation. What this requires is a site and a definition of the typology you'd like to explore. So the first thing we would want to do is draw a site limit. I'm randomly clicking around the boundaries of the area I want to explore, and this can be changed depending on what you are trying to analyze. Once I click on enter, the site limit is defined. Now I can use the site automation tool. Once I select that site limit, I'm presented with options to explore. Now I'm able to analyze buildings, units, parking, or surfaces. I am also able to check the gloss for area. I'm able to change the layout, either honeycomb or grid or something that is custom. And I'm able to choose between city blocks, linear buildings, mixed buildings, or towers. For this demonstration, I'm going to be leaving the building as towers. I could also go for mixed, linear, or city blocks. And I am going to leave the floors as 25 and the story height as 3.5. I will leave the building width and tower width as is for now. And I'm satisfied with what I'm seeing on the screen here. I think that the towers need a little bit of a better configuration. So what I'm going to do is increase the building width a bit and also add some variation to the tower structure. I think because of the site boundary I have drawn, it's creating these edge cases at the end. And so I am going to leave that in because I think it will be a very interesting and dramatic effect once we run the AI render. So this is what we have simply by using the site automation tool. We haven't done any real designing yet. This is not by any means a feasible architectural solution, but it's a starting point. It's a massing study, and from here you can develop it further with details that you can eventually export to Revit, because Forma is highly compatible with Revit. So now I will move into the Veras portion, which will give us an AI render of this very randomized set of masses that I've generated. To do that, I will click on extensions and I want to add extension. Now with Forma, the good thing is you have a wide variety of extensions that you can use in addition to its tools. And that's what makes it very exciting for early stage concept design. And we have, and I have access to Veras, but if you don't, then you might need to purchase a license for that separately. You see there's also plugins for Rhino, for Dynamo, and so many other interesting plugins like environment analysis and so on. I'm going to add the Veras plugin, agree to the license agreements. Now it has been added to my project. As soon as I am signed in, you can immediately see that my Forma model is showing in Veras. Now, Veras is a very powerful AI rendering system, and there are many tools in Veras which I will not be covering in this video. For the sake of demonstration, I will be choosing one of Veras's presets and just showing you what that looks like under the hood. So I will go with this one because I've used it in the past and I like the outcomes. It's an international style winter rendering preset. If we go into the Compose tab of Veras, you can see the prompt that is being used as well as the settings. The only things I will adjust here for the purposes of this video is how many renders I want, which is only one. If I select all 4 squares, I end up with 4 renders per each time I click on the button. And I'm also going to add some context to the prompt. So I want it to be downtown Toronto. And I also want cars and people, and I'll put that in square brackets for emphasis. I don't have anything I would like to remove. I guess I would want to remove lines, text, and any other item that you would want to remove from your render. But for now, that's all I care to remove. I'm not going to be overriding the geometry, so it's going to preserve the geometry I generated in Forma. I'm keeping material override at 100. Now, there are better ways to get better outcomes from Veras. If you are interested in Veras rendering, leave a comment and let me know that that's a video you'd like to see. For now, I'm just going to leave the default and click on render. And in about 23 seconds or so, we'll end up with an image that represents something close to what I've put here in the prompt. Obviously, if you're going to use this in a real project, there will be constraints, there will be design requirements. It's not enough to just generate some masses and then render. But this is a very simple demonstration of how AI can take you from nothing to something that looks like this in literally minutes. If you've gone through the pipeline of development as I have, we know when rendering used to take us days, where we would have to set up the render and go to sleep. So this is a really huge milestone, however imperfect and with room for improvement. I think that the more people embrace the technology and use it, the more we will get the improvements that we need. This actually looks a lot like Toronto downtown. The context is completely wrong, but that is starting to look like Toronto City Hall, as well as other spaces that are close to this area in Toronto. Now, all I have with my buildings is just a bunch of glass towers with lights, not too dissimilar from Toronto, but I think that there's room to improve it either using the prompt or changing the form. Before we end the video, I just want to try another Veras preset to show you what that would look like, because this actually affects what you see in the final image. So I'm going to go with something at the model scale, something that looks more like a chipboard model as opposed to a cityscape, and I will use that to create another render. 20 something seconds later, and I have this model. Now this looks like it's been placed on a table. And again, for concept design, sometimes that's the effect you're going for. It's something that is a model and not necessarily a real thing. Obviously, there are issues with the lines being wiggly. That's a consistent issue I've observed with this tool. And there are many ways to improve your outcomes. I know a lot of professionals who use Veras and they have very customized workflows. So this is just to get you excited about AI if you are new to the concept and let you know what's possible. I'd love to see what you try with AI. If you have an access to an Autodesk subscription, highly recommend giving Forma a try and let me know what you think of the tool. I'm impressed with the AI functionality. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.